All right, welcome everyone. Tracy, can you start admitting people in? Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning for those joining from the States. Welcome to the hybrid session of the Easy Family of Brands reunion. We are zooming in from Monaco. It's the 12th of May, and we already have more than 34 people on Zoom. I think this is the benefit of the hybrid session. We have about 70, 80 people in the conference room here in Monaco, and you can actually, Tracy, if you can spotlight the room rather than me, we can see what we just had. A very useful session in person, and now we can give the opportunity to people who couldn't be here to actually watch the latest developments in the Easy Family of Brands. And I'm going to give people a few more a couple of minutes to log in. We're up to all right, we have 45 people zooming in now, so I think it's a good time to start. Again, welcome to the Easy Family of Brands hybrid meeting. This is the new normal. We have about 70 or 80 people in the conference hall here in Monaco, and another 45, 46 people zooming in. We have a very interesting list of live speakers on the Zoom. But I would like to start by playing the usual Easy History video, the usual 7 minutes of overview of my life, if you like, my career. It's always good to get an overview, and then we go to the individual brands to speak. So Vikas, can you please play the Easy History video?
Yeah.
Sharing your screen.
And this is really the heart of the operation. This is the call center.
more than 100 seats, 24 hours a day.
With a successful business and a personal fortune behind him. He believes he can make flying as easy as getting on and off a bus and almost as cheap. He spent £5 million setting up his own airline, starting with the Scottish routes.
We're not just cutting costs, we're doing things differently.
Now, Go isn't targeting EasyJet's routes, but that doesn't stop him from turning Go's launch into a publicity stunt.
Staff at Luton-based rivals EasyJet made a special trip to Stansted today.
To EasyJet, it's a publicity coup.
Needs to go to London to visit a doctor. So I'm giving them 5 tickets for her and the family to go and visit the doctor in London. Ευχαριστώ καλά και ευχαριστικά.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your patience. Once again, the video, but I have found that it's actually a useful tool because it summarizes the whole concept of the Easy Family in 7 minutes. And I do encourage other people who are in the business-to-business sales to actually use it when they're introducing themselves and trying to sell franchises from the Easy brand. I guess if I can sort of summarize, back in '94, I probably had a dream, which is to build a famous brand. And I guess we've achieved that. It's a household name. It's very well known. But also I wanted to build a recurring income stream, an income stream that would not fluctuate as much. It would be more predictable. It pays the bills, obviously, but also it funds my charitable work. So Easy Group, which is my company that collects the royalties from all the Easy licensees, donates the majority of its profits each year to my charitable foundation, the Stelios Philanthropic Foundation, that does the good causes. So enough about me. I'd now like to invite Harm Meyer from EasyHotel to speak. Vikas, can you share your screen with the presentation? And I'd like to introduce Harm as one of the great believers in the Easy brand. Is that fair to say, Harm?
It is fair to say, Stelios, that is fair to say.
Invested a lot of your funds money into the Easy brand to grow it, and thank you very much for that. You're one of the biggest investors in the brand.
Thank you very much, Stelios, and maybe we can go to the first slide. Yes, next one, please. Yes. So look, you already heard another presentation in the earlier session. So I'm going to cover a couple of other points. EasyHotel, I think, is a great concept. And just to get it a bit clear, I am the chairman, but I'm also founder of ICAMAP. And together with our partners, Ivanhoe Cambridge, we have deployed now more than £160 million into this brand, with another 20 million to come. And what is the beauty? The beauty was really that when COVID broke out, hotels closed, but we did not need to raise equity to save the company. And that is just also one of the benefits, because our cost base was and is quite low, because it is a very simple concept. Now, about that concept, today it is very clear what we are striving for. We are striving for value, i.e. low price, but also a good bet. It is safe. And then we have also a carbon pledge.
Perhaps advance the slides. Is it the next slide now?
No, it comes next. But look, and this is what I really want to show. This is our path today, and it is a wood. And you know what? We have such a great team today with everything in place that we really kick off now the growth story. And this is of wood, and customers love it. And what is even better, the price of this wooden entry pass is 3 times lower than the plastic one. So both of all, we have a better price, a lower cost, and clients love it because it is of wood. Because of its great success, and just to give you an idea, after COVID, when we opened last year again, revenues were like for like compared to 2019, 60 to 65% higher. So before COVID, now 65% up. And which is part of it is that people want to go back and they want to travel, but also what we heard earlier is that people are trading down and they still want to go out. They still want to see that football match, but why do you want to pay £250 or £400 for your room while you can stay with us for 100? So we have here our new openings. They opened recently and they are absolutely booming. So Dublin is trading way above budget, and it's almost every day full. And then we have in the north of Paris, by the way, this is next to the HQ of the Olympic Committee, and it's also trading really well. So next year, this Paris hotel will be completely full because it is right in the middle of the Olympic Village. What do we want to do? We want to grow the concept. So we are ambitious. Today we have 44 hotels open, and we want to grow that above 100 within the coming years. Now that the concept is ready, the concept is working and producing very nice margins. So we have still some firepower, 20 million in equity and around 50 million in total. But we need to have new product. That brings me to my last slide. We are basically looking for everything what we can make a nice, easy hotel. And what are we looking for? We're looking for main European cities in general. You can also say it simply where EasyJet is flying to. Good transport links. And it can be it can be a lease, it can be a franchisee, or it can be owned. Although our group will still be mostly dominated with property owned, we will definitely open to other sort of forms of opening hotels. In terms of the property, we typically look at minimum 80 rooms. I think on average we have today around 100 rooms. And we should really be able to make the concept. And maybe just to keep in mind, most of our hotels have no frills. That means we have no breakfast. You just have the room, and that's it. There is no bar, there is no gym, there is none of that. Very simple, but good, clean, and safe. So that is the concept. If anybody has any ideas for us to grow further, then please be my guest.
Thank you, Harm. And I think we should do the virtual round of applause. I know that we can hear everybody clapping from home, but thank you very much, Harm.
Thank you, Stelios.
The next presentation is from EasyJet. So, Kate, are you in the Zoom? Can we spotlight you?
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I'm Kate Sullivan. I'm head of legal for commercial, customer and airport at EasyJet. It's brilliant to be with you all in Monaco today and all of you online with Zoom. So just to sort of start off talking about a little bit about where EasyJet is at today. So FY22, when everybody was still recovering from the pandemic, traveller confidence was still rebuilding, and there was, a few issues aviation wide. We still managed to sell in 82 million seats. So we're expecting that to increase in FY23 by around 15%. And you can see on the right hand side of this slide, this is sort of the breakdown of our major categories of travellers that we're attracting. And there's not whilst there's sort of a large proportion of couples and solo leisure, they're not so super out in front of business, families and leisure groups. We've got a nice broad kind of even distribution across the market. And if we can go to the next slide, Vickers, please. I think that part of the reason that we do have that broad appeal across traveller categories is largely because of our amazing slot portfolio. So it's something that we're really, really proud of. We have the greatest locations to fly to within Europe. You can see there the top 10 countries on the left-hand side. Most of the seats that we operate from and to are still coming out of Great Britain. Obviously, that's where EasyJet had its roots, but you can see that we've got healthy growth in other regions there. And also we do optimize year on year by adding new routes and looking at where are the hottest spots that people are wanting to travel to, where is the best for us to build out our portfolio sort of at a strategic level so that we kind of maintain that primary position as an airline with the slot portfolio that's the envy of a lot of other low-cost carriers. So a few facts for you. EasyJet's Europe's second largest carrier. And as I say, the largest at primary airports, thanks to that great slot portfolio that we've built. That also means that 300 million people live within a 1-hour drive of an EasyJet airport, making us super accessible. And in terms of our truly European nature, and being a loved airline across Europe, we're the largest airline at Geneva, and we operate the most flights to and from the Greek islands, which is one of Europe's favourite holiday destinations. And then lastly, we've got EasyJet Holidays, which is the real feather in our cap. It's the fastest growing, lowest cost UK holidays business. And it's just sort of in its infancy. So we're really excited about how we can build that out over the coming years. So to financial performance, we've just had our H1 figures in, and performance has been really, really robust. You can see that revenue and passengers carried are both substantially up year on year. Obviously, as I said, 2022 isn't the perfect year to compare to, given the struggles the industry were having coming back from the pandemic, but we're really, really pleased to see that strong positive growth coming out of last year. And currently our ticket yield, including ancillaries, is around about the £72.65 mark, which is also really strong. And we wanted to talk to you all a little bit more today about what we're doing in the ancillary space, because this is a large part of where we're innovating the EasyJet business. So we typically have 4 kind of core ancillary buckets. We'll call the EasyJet ancillary products, which are all of the things that we do directly with our customers, booking seats, booking bags, flight name changes, etc., etc. So that core EasyJet ancillary offering makes up about 1/3 of total ancillary revenue. The second bucket there is the partner ancillary revenue. We've got really great relationships with our insurance provider and car trawler who are here today at the conference. So it's been great to meet them. They're the sort of the 2 buckets where we're focusing our energies at the moment. And then moving on to in-flight retail, which we've just recently done a massive overhaul of that element of our business. In the last 12 months, we've been really building out the proposition, making it more customer focused and focused on customer experience and really delivering ease to them in terms of their journeys with us. So you can see that obviously there's the obvious food and beverage, but we've also got the boutique, beauty, fragrance, electronics that we're all selling through in-flight retail. And I'll talk a little bit more about it in a moment in a bit more detail about what we're doing in that side of the business. And then largely package holidays, which fits neatly with the other sort of 3 categories of ancillary products. And as I say, EasyJet Holidays really putting in an impressive performance in its first few years. So in-flight retail, there's just some fun facts for you on the left-hand side there. Really, we're sort of looking to build out the proposition. We've just rolled out closed loop Wi-Fi, which is allowing us to be more interactive with customers as they're sitting in their seat, them browsing, etc. We're hoping to build out pre-order capability later in the year, pre-order to seat, which will again sort of ease the customer experience, and we're really looking at simplifying the onboard experience. Duty-free categories of products, it's an ever-changing landscape. And we're sort of keeping pace with that and figuring out what more we can do in that space. And then lastly, we're not just looking at our technical, the technical side of in-flight retail is not just a retail proposition, but we're also looking at it in terms of optimizing operational performance and including it in things like training and performance for crew. So it's a really, really exciting area of the business, which has got a lot of potential for us to build out in the years to come. And that's sort of a large part of what we're innovating around at the moment. So Vikas, if we could go to the next slide, please. Thank you. So a lot of people have asked us today, how can we engage with EasyJet customers? How can we sort of, get in our brands or in our Easy Group companies in front of them? And one of the best ways that we would encourage you to think about is through advertising. So obviously we are doing a lot of work in the ancillary space, but the tech implementations and the level of detail that you need to go to actually build out a ancillary proposition that works at a customer level and a revenue level is hugely expensive and can take quite some time. Whereas advertising can kind of put your brand in the right spot at the right time. And that's something that we're focusing on a lot at the moment, is putting propositions in front of the customer at the right time, at the right price point, and sort of in giving them that ease of experience. So you can kind of participate this way through advertising possibilities. We can run social campaigns. We do advertising on boarding passes and seat backs, which can be really targeted by route, by particular date range. And there should be coming up future in-flight opportunities. We have been considering getting the Traveller magazine back into the seat pockets in physical form. If that becomes a path that we follow down, certainly that would be a unique advertising proposition as well. And I think the thing about advertising is that really is, it can be targeted to people who are really interested in your product and really quite valuable in terms of customer conversion. Of course, it has got, a fairly significant ticket price on it. As all of you will know, we've all sort of got to do our best to make sure that we're treating the Easy brand in a premium way, and certainly advertising opportunities with EasyJet. The minimum campaign spend would be around £250,000. But we've got a really, really great advertising proposition team that you can speak with and sort of bounce ideas off. And they're contactable through Russell's team. Russell spoke earlier at the conference in Monaco, but Jess Frost is the person to contact, jess.frost@easyjet.com. And she can chat you through possibilities and discuss campaign possibilities with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kate. Virtual round of applause again for Kate from home.
Thanks.
Thank you. Tim from EasyStorage, are you there?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry can't be down there, but glad to be joining by Zoom. EasyStorage has been part of the Easy family of brands for 5 years now, just over 5 years, which has been a very exciting journey for us. Our mission, as it says on the slide there, is to be the go-to brand for storage by making it an affordable lifestyle choice for our customers. So very much along the lines of other Easy brands, it's a value proposition. The idea is that we have 4 offerings, 3 of which we have either got operational or is just literally going operational. The first, sorry, there's been a pagination problem there, but the first is pod storage. And I've got our latest advertisement, which has just gone out on Sky and Virgin. I've got that as a video. I don't know if you can play that. Can you, Vikas?
Vikas, can you try and play the video?
It explains what we do quite clearly. Well, I hope it does anyway.
So this is actually now live on Sky?
This is live on Sky and Virgin. And it's very targeted. It's only to customers that are in the process of moving.
Moving house, decluttering, or just need extra space. Finding affordable storage is, well, easy with EasyStorage. EasyStorage is now offering 50% off your storage. To make it even easier, we come to you. Load everything to your storage pod and take it to your local EasyStorage facility. And when you need your belongings back, we'll deliver them right to your door. Don't take our word for it. EasyStorage has thousands of 5-star reviews on Trustpilot. Visit EasyStorage.com. It's what we do.
So very simple. It's basically an alternative to traditional walk-in self-storage. We come in at about 50% of the cost. And as you can imagine, it's very similar. No frills. It's the core concept. If you want things in addition to that, then you can pay for those at a very sensible price. So the pod storage has been going for 5 years now. We had 2 years of pilot and testing, and we've been going properly for about 3 years. We have about 85% of the UK covered in terms of coverage, and that's with 24 franchise territories. We've got in process another 3 going live as we speak. And we're very excited. We'll be probably 100% coverage this time next year, if not by the end of this year. The second strand is containers, and the perception of containers at the moment is very poor. If you can go to the next slide, Vikas. It's not that we've missed okay, the deck's messed up. Okay, so anyway, the perception is very bad. We believe that our brand is very well attuned to container storage, which is basically the use of shipping containers in an outside space, typically about 1 acre. And again, if you could play this video, it will show you an idea of what the easy container sites are beginning to look like. We've got a couple that are have been pilot, and we've got about 10 that are in various stages of development. So we're very excited about this concept. It's going to be mainly franchise run. We have got a couple that we're running ourselves. We had a very, very good turnout at the recent franchise show in London, where we had 186 people sign up for interest. We've had about 80 of those come now through to discovery days. And a big proportion of those have said they want to move forward. So all hands to the pump on that. Really, really excited. The third offering, which we're launching next week, is boxes. And it's a very simple concept where we deliver just a box or several boxes. It's mainly for students, but also for people that want to collect or and also to a certain extent archive, where they have boxes delivered to them. They're collected by DPD, who are our delivery partner. They're returned to us. We store them for as long as they're needed, and then they're returned back. If you can go to the next slide, Vikas. Very simple sign-up process. Really simple, really low cost, and pretty good margin. So again, that's launching next week. So they're the three strands. The fourth is walk-in storage, which we don't have any plans at the moment to launch, but in time, probably in the next sort of couple of years or so, we'll look to do that. But these are all of the offerings that make up what, for us to become the go-to brand for storage.
Thank you very much, Tim. Round of applause for Tim. So, Craig, are you on the Zoom?
Oh, yes, there we are.
Hi, Craig.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to join you virtually, but I was there in Monaco in October. So we recently joined the Easy family of brands. EasyLife is a traditional mail order catalog, sort of a big book like this, which is shown there on the screen. We've been started in 1992. Since then, we've mailed to our database about 500 million of these big catalogs, and we've inserted into newspapers a smaller 32-page catalog, and we've put about 1 billion catalogs in the national newspapers since we started. Just some other numbers. Oh, no. So, well, there you can actually see what the catalog looks like, but just some numbers. We've satisfied 5 million customers with about 10 million orders. This year, we will do, on average, 15 million mailings of the big book and 80 million inserts into the national newspapers, and dispatch, on average, about 3 million single items, single units to customers. So we operate out of a 45,000 square foot warehouse, and we have about 200 people available at the call center. So on average, we turn over about 25 million. We touched 50 million during the COVID years because we were very fast to market with a lot of PPE. And of course, everybody was at home, so they were ordering stock. We could have done 100 million if we would have been able to get the stock. But the supply chain from China was very clogged up. So predominantly the products we have are products that make life easy for our customers, easy and more comfortable. And everything we do is from factory to customer. So we control the development of the product. A lot of the products we have the patents on, and the rest of them we generally modify and improve so that our customers are happy and don't call us back on customer service lines complaining. You know, one of the benefits of working directly with the factories is that we can control the quality and ensure that we're getting, you know, I'm trying to get to a John Lewis quality product at a Tesco price point. And that's been predominantly what we've done. This shows you the different catalogs. These are insert catalogs. We do different sizes, different paginations. They go into the newspapers, the tabloids, all the magazines, BBC, Good Food, Good Housekeeping, Yours, a ton of different media out there. In fact, I don't think there's a media we haven't tried or are not in. So the next slide, I think we can move on to that one. We also have a bunch of brands leveraging the database by giving them other offerings. We have Good Ideas. We have Positive Health, which talks for itself, it's health-related products. And then we have Jenny Lee, which is a fashion brand. Again, all these products are manufactured by us, and the fashion brand is taking a while to build. It's not something I'm very familiar with, but one of my colleagues, my managing director in Australia, is very familiar with it. So that's building slowly. So I didn't mention we're actually in the UK and Australia. This is an off-the-page ad. We do a lot of adverts in the newspaper, taking advantage of momentary situations. So, for example, like with COVID, I'm generally very fast to market because of all the factories I work with in China. So we turned around masks and PPE very quickly. In fact, we were the first company in the UK to actually sell, if you go back that slide, please, to sell the fabric mask. Just pop back there. So this was about being first to market. The ad on the right went out, I would say, towards the end of March, just as everything hit. We spent £5,000 on that advert, and being the first people in the UK with a fabric mask, we turned over on that one ad £150,000, which was by all means a phenomenal result. So we brought in a lot of PPE, a lot of the masks, and I don't know if you saw the transparent one, which came out after a while like that. So that was our patent and our design. And we're bringing out masks, very quickly. And we're always trying to do something special, something extra. So all the masks had a PM25 filter in them. The one on the right there, you can see that's a copper mask. So we designed a mask that actually had a copper inner, because as you might know, copper is antimicrobial. So one of the big issues with masks, as I found out over time, is that when you're breathing out, you're expelling nitrogen, and then you're breathing it back in, and you're breathing back the bacteria. So the copper actually effectively neutralized the bacteria. And that was by far one of our most popular masks that we sold. Also being low cost, Generally, when that ad went out, funny enough, there was actually another fabric mask in the ad in the newspaper. It was £17.99, and we were 3 for £14.99. So it's about providing value to our customers. We can move on, Vickers. We also put everything into retail packaging, because the idea is to actually go into retail at some stage. And it looks like that's going to be sooner rather than later. Although everybody is saying it must be mad to open a retail store in this economy. You know, I've generally thought, well, if there's so many shops closing, there's a big opportunity. And also we have so many catalogs going out in the newspapers, we can drive customers into those stores. So we'll probably be finalizing on the feasibility right now about opening in Sheffield. And if we go ahead, this first store will be opening in July. Next slide. So as I said, we just recently joined the Easy family of brands. So we were testing the logo, the color, the orange, seeing how it affects our customer base. We've branded the hose, one of our top selling products, and product that I have a patent on. We call it Easy Hose, and there's Stelios saying, I like the hose so much, I put my name on it. And what we're going to do is over time build out, if it's positive, if the results are positive, build out to make a Stelios more of a feature in the catalog and branding other products, Easy something. So I go to the next slide. So our customer database is primarily the older generation, because you know, we advertise and we market and promote in the national newspapers, and by that very nature, the customers are older who buy the newspapers. So our demographic is older. You know, of our demographic, I'd say 60% or 75 plus. So we are COVID spurred that demographic onto online. So we've had to up our game on online area. So we've put a lot of effort into improving our website, building out the marketplaces like Amazon, eBay, you know, Facebook, and we're actually launching in July with a TikTok shop. Generally, our products, you know, you would see them in John Lewis, but because the catalogs go out in the national newspapers, it's an older demographic. There's no reason why these products won't sell to the younger demographic. Next slide, I think that's it really. So the future as we see it is for the growth will probably be in retail and online, and that's something we're working at. Right now we have few challenges in the sense that the Ukrainian war had tremendous effects on, as you know, the cost of energy. But for us, it had the cost of paper, because with the cost of energy, so printing mills couldn't keep the mills going and had to go down to 3 or 4 days just to keep the lights on. So paper became in short supply, and unfortunately, we're starting to see that easing up right now. Just like, you know, the COVID affected so many areas, but for us, it was shipping and paper. I don't know whether you're aware of this, but during November 2020, a 40-foot container from China has always cost me between $1,800 to $2,000 for the past 30 years. During November 2020, that went up to $20,000. So 10 times increase. So to put that into perspective, if we were going to land a ladder, it always costs about £2.50 to land. But from November 2020, it cost £12.50 to land. So that is why we're seeing, in my view, well, it's contributing dramatically to the inflation we have worldwide, because the shipping cartels basically took advantage of the situation, pushed their prices up to ridiculous levels. But fortunately, those prices started coming down about 14 months later. So February and March, we've seen dramatic drops in the container prices. And we are now actually at pre-pandemic levels, and in some cases below pre-pandemic levels. So I would predict that once stocks are used at the old prices and stocks are landing at the new prices, probably August, September, we'll start to see retail prices dropping dramatically. That's if people, are with integrity and not going to profiteer.
All right. Thank you very much, Craig.
Okay.
We have
Thank
one
you.
more speaker, so thank you very much for your contribution. Well done for dealing with cost inflation so effectively. Round of applause for Craig. Thank you. And last but not least, we have Jason from EasyMoney. Hi, Jason. Are you on the line?
I am indeed. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can we keep it to 5 minutes, please? Because we're
Yep, I'll rush through them as I'm last. It's a bit blurry. So yes, I'm Jason from EasyMoney, joining you remotely. Andrew DeCandor, my co-director, is in Monaco, representing us live there. So yes, so here are some company highlights. So as you may all know, we launched in February 18 with a nicer offering. In 20 we became profitable, and 21 and 22. So those last 3 years we've actually managed to double our profit thereabouts every year. So as you can see here, these are the money we've currently got under management over our 4 products, and a total ISA and non-ISA. And indeed we managed to pass a big milestone recently, becoming the country's largest IFISA provider at 66 million, according to P2P Finance News. So that's all good news for us. And I'll come back to the corporate account, which we're just about to launch on, which is mentioned on the right here, if I may, at the end, if we've got time. So could we go to the next slide, please, Vika? Again, this just says that what we did in December is we decided to withdraw our lowest tier. So the people that could invest just £100 onto the platform and earn 3.03, we scrapped that completely. So they've moved up to the level you would have been at if you needed to invest £20,000, just to help with the cost of living crisis and the rest of it. And incidentally, we just had a meeting this morning actually about putting our rates up again. You'll be pleased to know, Stelios. So that's going, hopefully we're going to get an email out today to tell everybody that after the Bank of England base rate rise again, we're increasing our own rates, and that will go live at some point, hopefully in the next week or so. So if we could go to the next one. This is really important part for us. So our competitors are much slower. So when you need to withdraw your money, you actually have to sell your loan part. So if you imagine that we're crowd-funded basically, and you could have 2,000 people into one bridging loan. So to get your money out, you do have to actually put your loan part up for sale. And I'm pleased to report that our actual stats are less than 24 hours. So if someone wants to withdraw their funds, they first have to get the money back into their wallet, and then they can withdraw them. The actual withdrawing part can take up to 4 days, because obviously Good Friday, bank holidays, and so on. So this is just updates. We've increased the loan book. It says 161 million there. It's actually 162.3 million as of this morning. We've got a current 10 million pipeline of loans. We've had 12 million paid back in just one hit, and we did manage to get it all reinvested within 10 days. Still no losses to date, and no defaults. And it's, as you can see, it says current live loan book, but that's actually gone up by just under 1 million since yesterday. So yes, this is basically just the figures about. So we've managed to get a really big funding line, 100 million in total, from a very large company in the States called Insight. These are figures about them because not many people have heard of them. We've not actually drawn on the funding line yet, but we are looking to draw it maybe in the summer this year when the time's right for us. So we needed to get to a certain amount of loans that hit a certain criteria to be able to move 15 million pounds worth of loans across to them and do it in chunks of 5 million thereafter. So that's taken us actually 18 months to put to bed, and we're finally there.
So you're actually making a profit, Jason? We
are, yeah. So we've been profitable for 3 years. So our accounts, which are fully audited up until the end of last year, end of December, showed a £1,080,000 profit. We're actually on target to more than double that already this year. We've got, I can send you the management accounts actually after this, which look great. As you know, we're expanding into Europe. So Andrew's probably already told you we've got our eyes set on Switzerland at the moment. Our mobile app is constantly being updated, and we've got a whole load of updates going live later today. And we've automated the ISA transfer process. So where that was largely a paper process where people want to transfer from, let's say, Virgin money over to us for, I mean, we had one yesterday for 177,000. That's now automated. So it can all be done online and it generates everything for you, which has allowed us to grow and grow and grow and still only have 14 people. So we're only a team of 14 people. And, you know, this year, I won't say definite, but we're hoping to make in excess of 2.5 million. So
well done. Round of applause for EasyMoney. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I suggest we leave it at that. We have, I would ask the people in the room, in the conference hall in Monaco, to actually come upstairs and we'll try and do the family picture. And apologies for those not in the room, but I'm going to take them out for a drink tonight. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you very much. Hope to see you the next time in Monaco. Bye-bye.
Bye, Stelios.
Thank you. Bye, Stelios.
Bye.